Hey guys, my name is Henry and I'm your go-to for hardware here at Planet Devices. If it's powering, cabling, connecting or installing, then I'm here if you need any assistance. In this video, I'll be showing you how to install the Atmo hardware, explaining the wiring connections required to get you up and running. Let's get started. As you can see, Atmo is a pretty simple little device. No buttons or touch screens to worry about, as everything is remotely configured via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Its small size makes it non-intrusive, whilst its tough aluminium exterior protects it from harsh environments, like plant rooms, for example. It's designed to be extremely flexible, and whether you're installing it onto a heat pump, a solar inverter, battery storage, electric vehicle charger, or even a wind turbine, Atmo does it all. Let's take a closer look at what it's capable of. The enclosure can be easily mounted to almost any surface using the 4 mounting slots provided. When deciding on the best location for your Atmo, please remember, it is not waterproof, so be sure to mount it somewhere out of the rain or somewhere it won't get wet. On the left-hand side of the Atmo, there is a small antenna connector and multi-purpose indicator light. The antenna connector, you guessed it, is for the antenna. You can connect either our extender, which allows for Wi-Fi connections a little harder to get to, or as most applications generally require, the supplied small flexible version. The small indicator light is there to let you know what state the Atmo is in. If it's flashing blue, then it's likely never been used before, so it'll need setting up. If it's red, that'll mean it's powered, but is not connected or cannot connect to the Wi-Fi. Once yellow, the Atmo is connected to a Wi-Fi access point, which usually only takes a few seconds. Lastly, when the indicator turns green, Atmo is connected to Sphere, our cloud-based dashboard. In short, if you can see a green light, you can leave Atmo to do its thing. If the indicator is solid blue or has been red for a while, you may need to check you are in range of the Wi-Fi access point or that your Wi-Fi router credentials have not changed. Aaron, our mobile app expert, has a video explaining how to recover or reset an Atmo if you need help. The 8-pin connector on the right is used for providing power, data connections to and from the appliance, and peripheral connections for electrical energy consumption monitoring. The Atmo's antenna uses a standard SMA connector found on most radio antennas. We supply a short foldable version as standard, with an extender as an optional extra. The antenna easily screws onto the connector and locks into place. Depending on the mounting location of the device, it can then be positioned at a 0, 45 or 90-degree angle. We also have an antenna extender available for installs that require a bit of extra reach. For example, if the Atmo is being installed outside a building with thick stone walls and is struggling for signal strength. The extender also has a magnetic base, allowing it to be easily fixed to most metal surfaces. If you use your own antenna, please make sure it has a rated frequency of 2.4 GHz with a 50 ohm impedance. Otherwise, you will likely run into connection problems. The Atmo connector consists of 8 screw terminals shown here. Connections 1 and 2, VCC and GND, offer power. Pins 3 and 4, BS1 and BS2, offer data. Pins 5 and 6, CT1 and CT2, are for the current transformer. And pins 7 and 8, VM1 and VM2, are for the voltage meter. As a minimum, Atmo needs just power and data to start reporting back to Sphere. However, the current transformer and voltage meter are optional extras should you want to independently monitor electrical power consumption. The connector is removable, making installation easier if you ever needed to replace Atmo or you wanted to pre-wire an installation ahead of time. Atmo isn't fussy when it comes to being powered. There are many ways in which you can provide power. Some may be more suitable than others, and a wide range of voltages are accepted, anything from 5 to 24 volts DC. We provide a 12-volt DC wall socket transformer. This is the easiest method and relies on a nearby main socket. Another option is to install a voltage regulator, which takes an AC mains voltage and converts that into a low DC voltage. Most of these devices are DIN rail mounted and are available in a wide range of output voltages. Lastly, and our favorite option, where available, is to power Atmo directly from the appliance being installed. This can sometimes be in the form of an auxiliary or third-party output. On average, 50 milliamps of current is required, so please check with the manufacturer's guidelines before using this as a power source for Atmo. When connecting up the power, be careful to ensure that the positive wire, red, is connected to VCC and the negative wire, black, is connected to ground. Atmo does have built-in protection for users that get this the wrong way around, but try not to, eh? Providing a means of communication between Atmo and the appliance being installed is, of course, paramount. The bus connections are used for talking to the connected appliance, and when it comes to protocols, Atmo is multilingual. It's compatible with many different protocols, including Modbus, BACnet, OpenTherm, MBus, eBus, and CAN bus. In most cases, only 2 cables are required, but for each specific wiring type, please refer to our dedicated instruction manuals and videos for the appliance you're installing. Depending on which protocol and electrical method your install requires, the cable specifications will differ. For example, Modbus calls for a single twisted pair cable. We recommend Cat5e cable to be connected to the A and B terminals of the appliance. In some installs, it is important to measure some form of power consumption, for example of a heat pump, to monitor COP levels. In most cases, Atmo can ask the appliance how much current it is drawing, but that facility is not always available or accurate. Surely it would be nice to independently monitor the current yourself, right? This is possible using a current transformer, or CT clamp as it's also known. Our current transformer is provided in many different flavors, with varied resolutions and ratings, depending on your installation requirement. After fitment, it is likely that a calibration is required, of which a walkthrough can be found in our documentation and videos. Before the current transformer cable has been connected to the Atmo, simply split the current transformer at its clip, shown here. The direction of current flow is important in some applications. A small arrow indicating direction is in sight. Wrap the clamp around a power supply cable you'd like to measure, but remember, you must only measure a single core. A quick recap of the 3 main things to remember when fitting a clamp. 1. The measured supply must be an AC current, not DC. 2. On the top of the clamp is a small arrow indicating the flow of current. Make sure this is correct before closing up the clamp. And 3. You must only fit the clamp around a single core, otherwise the reading will be incorrect. By fitting a current transformer to the CT1 and CT2 connectors, Atmo will automatically report current usage back to Sphere independently. Be sure to connect the positive red cable to CT1 and the negative black cable to CT2, otherwise your reading will be way off. Depending on the appliance being installed, it may be important to measure the AC voltage of the system for power consumption or production calculations, for example of a solar inverter. In most cases, Atmo can ask the appliance what voltage it is running at, but that facility is not always available. A domestic household, for example, can experience a mains voltage of anywhere between 216 volts and 253 volts. Atmo makes it possible to know exactly what the external voltage is at any given moment, using a voltage meter to measure independently. The voltage meter has a screw terminal on one end that is removable, making installations much easier to pre-wire. Simply secure the L, live, and N, neutral connections from a nearby main supply, ensuring that multi-strand cable is used, not solid core, preferably terminated if possible. The voltage source can be from a ring main, distribution unit, or from the appliance itself. Always take the necessary precautions when working with mains voltages. Our voltage meter is capable of measuring up to 1000 volts AC, making it suitable for both single-phase and 3-phase installs. After fitment, it is likely that a calibration is required, of which a walkthrough can be found in our documentation and videos. Once you've wired the voltage meter to the connectors of Atmo, the live mains voltage will automatically be reported back to Sphere independently. Similarly to the other peripherals, connect the positive red cable to VM1 and the negative black cable to VM2. Inside every Atmo is a small but very accurate sensor that measures ambient temperature and reports it back to Sphere. In some installs, this may be useful for knowing indoor or outdoor temperatures. For example, if you need to control the heat of a building. This sensor is localized to the vicinity of the Atmo, so will measure the temperature of its location, which may just turn out to be useful in some applications. Better to have it than not, right? As with all our peripherals, the temperature sensor will need to be calibrated to ensure its accuracy, which is explained in another of our videos. So, as you can see, Atmo may appear simple and unassuming, but it's a mighty little box of tricks just quietly working away in the background. That's just about it for this video. Hopefully I've been of help and that you've successfully installed your Atmo. As always, get in touch with us if you have any questions or need support, and we'll do our best to help you out. Don't forget, you'll find many more instructional videos on our website. See you next time.